Although Vita Health Group provided this exercise class provisional with your health and safety in mind, each individual participant has their own limitations and should consult their general practitioner or an appropriate medical professional prior to undertaking the class. Should you be prone to injury, are currently pregnant, or be managing any functional limiting medical conditions, please seek medical confirmation prior to participating. At all times, ensure you follow all instructions provided by Vita Health Groups throughout the entirety of the recording. Should you experience any symptoms of dizziness, nausea, or increased pain at any point during your participation, please stop and seek the appropriate advice from your general practitioner or the 111 service.
Hi everyone, welcome to our beginners knee class. So this class is aimed for people who are particularly struggling with any symptoms in and around the knee, or for anybody who's new to the program. So the aims of the class today will be to strengthen up and provide stability in and around the knee joint and the surrounding structures. So I'll put in front of you now a list of the equipment that you will need for this class. Please have a quick read through this before you move on to a warm-up. Okay, so I'm going to start with a bit of a warm-up now, just get the body ready for the class. So I'm going to start out with a nice gentle march, just very steady on the spot. So looking to drive them knees up, get them arms moving, make sure we're swinging the arms as well. Make sure we're taking nice deep breaths while we're working through the exercise. So the aim of the warm-up here is to raise the heart rate, activate the muscles that we're looking to work, mobilise the joints, and then potentiate, which to make the exercise we're doing a little bit more difficult and progress into the actual class itself. So keep yourself stood nice and upright, nice deep breaths. Keep driving them knees up, don't let them fall down. So as the heart rate begins to pick up, we'll actually increase muscle temperature as well, which improves muscular flexibility. All things that are good to help us perform and to prevent any kind of injury or anything like that. Okay, so we're going to progress this march into a nice steady jog, just keeping it on the spot. Again, don't forget about your breathing. Nice deep breath throughout. Nice and light on the toes. If you want to swing the arms a little bit as well. That's it, a little bit longer. Again, just jogging at a comfortable pace, nothing too serious for you. Okay, I'm going to move on to the joint mobilisation for the hips, the lower back, and the pelvis. So we're just drawing these nice big circles as far as we can. Keep the hands on the hips to guide. And then we're going to change direction and the exact same thing going the opposite way. Again, nice deep breaths. Really feel that kind of stretch through the muscles as you push in each different direction. Okay, and then just on one leg at a time, just as far as you're comfortable with, just swing that leg in forwards and in front behind you. Focus on one point in front of you, or pop your arms out just to help you balance a little bit. And again, you can progress it just by swinging a little bit further. So you're just looking to feel that stretch in that hip, and activate the glutes as well. Also activate through the leg where we're just keeping a little bit of balance. Okay, and then the exact same thing on the other side. Again, pick one spot in front of you, get the arms out, and just swing that leg. If you do need to put your foot back down to gauge your balance, that's fine. Good stuff. Okay, and then we're just going to start to bring it up the body a little bit into the shoulders, and we're just going to draw these nice big circles with the hands. Again, progress it yourself, as far as you want to go, as far as feels comfortable for you. If that's just a small circle down here, that's fine. If we can we bring them up into a nice big circle, forwards and backwards, and just keep going. Helps to stretch out the chest, the upper back, even working into the neck a little bit as well. Again, a good warm-up kind of focus targets the whole body rather than just certain structures. Good. Make sure we are changing directions. Good stuff. And then we're going to move on to mobilise the actual spine itself. So various different movements for the spine. So we're going to start with feet nice and close together. Again, nice deep breaths while we work through these. Popping our hands on the front of our thighs and just sliding down as far as we can. When you reach that point, very slowly return to your starting position and repeat. So 5 of these. Again, make sure we are just staying in a comfortable range. So if that's only to your knees and back up, that's perfectly fine. It's just as far as you can go. Okie doke. And once we've done 5, the exact same thing, hands round on the back, just below the glutes. And we're just going to slide down towards the back of the knees. Again, you won't get anywhere near as far as you will going forwards. And again, it's just as comfortable as you can, kind of in terms of distance. So 5. Once you've done your 5, hands round onto the sides, kind of where your pockets should be. Maybe open up your feet a little bit wider for this one. And stand up nice and straight, and you're just going to slide one hand at a time down towards the knee to side flex the spine. And the exact same thing going in the other direction. Good. Again, nice deep breathing as we work through. So to each side is 1 rep, so you do 10 in total. Good, last one. Then you're going to, again, feet still in kind of position, arms out in front of you, and you're going to rotate to look over one shoulder, and then rotate the other way. Again, each side being 1 rep, 5 of these. So again, 10 in total. Keep counting your head. Make sure you keep the hips facing forwards, so we're just rotating the lower trunk. Okay, then give everything a nice little shake off as we draw towards the end of our warm-up. So we'll move on to the actual class itself now. So here's just a quick reminder of the equipment we'll need for this class. Okay, so our next exercise is one to target balance a little bit more. So whereas the ones we've done before, a little bit more strength focus with a little bit of balance in it. This is solely focusing on that balance through the lower limb, specifically 1 leg at a time. So what we're going to do, exercise is called compass taps. So if you imagine there's a compass on the floor around you with north, east, south and west. You begin on 1 foot at a time and just working round 1 foot at a time. So again, if you need to use your hands, you can. Nice slow movements around the body and out behind us. If you do have a bit of a wobble, bring your foot back and start again. Again, just working round for 1 minute. For 1 minute, I'm going to spot and repeat the process on the other leg. So you'll find that one out to behind you, a little bit more difficult. We're really going to work nice and slowly out to it. Imagine you're tapping your toe on an egg. And you do it too hard, you'll crack the egg. So just a really gentle touch helps keep this balance through its grounded leg. Just keep working round. Should start to feel yourself wobble a little bit as you get towards the end of that minute. Again, if you have a bit of wobble, bring yourself back to that starting point and keep working round. Okay, after that minute, again, just give your legs a nice little bit of a shake. We're going to move on to the other leg. So, again, get your foot in a nice steady position where you stood over that limb and going the opposite way now. So just around the body for 1 minute. Try and keep this foot off the floor all times, bar that very gentle tap at each of the compass directions. Really targeting them. Then stabilise the structures from the hip right down into the bottom of the foot. Again, really focus on one point in terms of balance. Focus on that one point really helps just to keep your balance. Again, use your arms if you need to. Very slow, very gentle. If you are doing this exercise with shoes on, sometimes it's a lot easier. To do it without shoes really helps with that balance aspect. A bit close to the ground. And after that minute of working round, again, give your legs a nice little shake and we'll move on to our next exercise. Okay, so our next exercise will be a chair squat. So it's kind of a normal body weight squat, but using that chair for a little bit of assistance. So I've got the chair positioned just behind me there. So we're obviously feet positioned on the mat, but the chair behind us for a bit of support. So how we're going to start out, we're going to have our feet just outside of kind of the legs of the chair. Obviously it depends on the chair that you're using, but just outside of hip width, that'd be a better way to go by. So bring the arms out across the chest, and you go lower down into a squat until we touch the chair. We're not sitting down in the chair, we're just touching the chair and coming back up. So I'm going to repeat this, 10 repetitions, have a rest, and then a second set. Good stuff, so nice deep breathing as we're working through. Almost just a very, very gentle touch of the glutes on the chair. So you're almost not actually sitting down whatsoever. Just as soon as we feel that chair, we come back up. Again, counting your head up towards 10. So it's almost half a squat with the chair just helping us to know when the halfway point is. After 10, bring yourself back to your feet, bring your feet together. Nice little shake of the legs. And then take 20 seconds, have a drink, have a breather, let the legs have a rest. And then we'll have a go at our second set. Okay, so moving back on with our second set. Again, 10 repetitions of that chair squat. This time, a little bit of the side view so you can see what's going on a little bit better. Again, similar foot positioning, just outside of the width of that chair and around hip width, just outside of that as well. Arms across the chest and slowly lower down onto that chair and back up. Maintain that nice deep breathing. Just ever so slightly touching the chair with the glutes. Count yourself up to 10. Really, really slow on the way down and the way back up. Slower the better. After 10, bring yourself back, give your legs a nice little shake, nice little breather before we move on to our next exercise. So just 20 seconds, a bit of a rest, and move on to our next exercise. Okay, so our first exercise for this class will be a calf raise. So you want to position yourself at the back of a chair. Again, we're not using this chair to support ourselves, just a little bit of guidance while we're completing it. So we're going to bring our feet nice and close together, not too far from the chair, and just kind of 2 fingers from each hand on the back of that chair there, and just reposition your feet so you're nice and comfortable. Then we're going to bring our weight up and onto our toes, and when you get to the top, you're going to squeeze that muscle for just 1-2 seconds, and we're going to slowly lower back down to our start position. Again, only using the chair if need be. So we're moving up into the calf raise really slowly, pausing at the top for 1-2 seconds, and again very slowly lower back down to the ground. Counting in your head how many you've completed. So we're going to work right up to 12 reps. So the different part of the rep is very different in the way it targets the muscle. So that nice slow eccentric way in the way back down really helps to target the tendon, which is the Achilles tendon. And that upwards phase really helps strengthen up that muscle belly. Good. Again, as we work up, if we're not using the chair too much, we're also working balance within the foot and the ankle. Make sure we keep that pause at the top, really squeeze the calf when we get up to the top of that contraction. Try and take your hands off as we lower back down. And after 10, you just give your legs a nice little bit of a shake. I'm just going to take a nice 20-second break in between sets just to get a little bit of a drink. Okay, so that's our rest finished. Hopefully, keep yourself moving, got a little bit of a drink whilst we're doing that rest. So again, back into that starting position, and we're going to repeat the exact same thing again. So obviously this one might be a little bit more difficult. We've already worked the calf already. Make sure we are maintaining that slow contraction on the way up and on the way down as well. Again, just keep counting in your head how many you've completed. Nice deep breathing as we're working through the exercise. Keep squeezing that calf right at the top. Kind of as we get to that as we finish that squeeze, can you take your hands off and slowly lower down without using assistance? If you want to fully progress the exercise, can we do it without the chair completely? Again, slowly work back down. Again, that's our second 12. So again, take 20 seconds, get a bit of a drink, have a little bit of a rest. Remember, keep yourself moving, maybe a gentle walk on the spot while we take our rest. Okay, so that's our final rest break done. So again, we're going to go back into exercise. Again, being mindful of the ways we can look to progress the exercise. If we want to really push ourselves, again, reposition our feet so they're nice and close together. And just using that chair where needed, push up onto the calves and slowly back down. Just a reminder, the chair isn't to help push you up to the top of the calf. The calf raise is to give you a little bit of balance in case you're a little bit wobbly as we're working through. Again, just count your reps all the way up to 12. Ensure they're all as quality as each other. Again, making sure the way up is as slow as the way down. Maybe even have the eccentric lowering phase just a little bit slower than the way up. Really important we get that squeeze right at the top and come back down. Again, just give the legs a nice little shake off as we finish our set of 12. So that's our final 3 sets of calf raises before I move on to our next exercise. Okay, so moving on to stretch for the calf, more commonly known as, or maybe not as commonly known as a gastroc or the gastrocnemius. There's a scientific name for it. So we're going to place both hands on the back of the chair and bring one foot back behind the other, making sure both feet are facing forwards. And we're going to bring this knee over this toe or as close as we can, driving this heel down into the ground. Again, hold that for 20 seconds, starting 3, 2, 1. So really push that back heel down into the ground. Again, nice deep breaths as we push that heel back. And after 20 seconds, just swap foot position. The one goes in the same position as the other. So you might have to just adjust slightly. And again, slowly lower that front knee over the toe, keeping this foot facing forward, drive that heel down into the ground. Again, starting 20 seconds, starting 3, 2, and 1. Nice deep breaths. Good. And after 20 seconds, again, just bring the feet back into a comfortable position, walk on the spot for a little bit before we move on to a shorter but a more kind of intense version of that stretch. So we're just going to, and by that, we're going to bring that back foot a little bit further back. So starting position in the front one, same position, back foot a little bit further back. And again, bring this knee forward and drive this back heel down. So just 15 seconds, nice deep breathing, starting now. After 15 seconds, again, swap feet. Remember where the back foot was. And again, just keep shuffling that feet, get it adjusted right. And again, lean that knee forward and drive that heel down. Nice deep breaths as we push that back heel. Good, and after 15 seconds, again, bring both feet back into comfortable position. Let it shake, walk on the spot. And then again, starting again, bring that back foot as far back as we can and bring that front knee a little bit further forward. Again, 10 seconds, nice deep breathing, really push that back heel down. Good stuff. After 10 seconds, exact same thing on the other side again. Really step that back foot back, keeping the heel facing forward, keeping the toes facing forward. And again, really drive that heel down into the ground. Nice deep breath for 10 seconds. And after 10 again, bring both feet in, give them a nice little bit of a walk out, shake it off, And that'll bring us to the end of that exercise. Again, take 20 seconds, have a little bit of a breather, give the legs a rest, and we'll move on to the next exercise. Okay, so our next exercise is an adductor squeeze. So really good for building strength, kind of between the legs, so in the groin area, also the adductors. Really good, really important for the knees and for the hips as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to begin sat on the edge of the chair. I've got a pillow here. You can use any kind of a cushion, or a football, anything like that. Anything with a little bit of give that you can just pop between the knees. So as we push them together, it's something to push into, okay? So at the edge of the chair, feet nice and flat on the floor, hold onto the chair, and for 30 seconds, we're gonna really squeeze our knees together as hard as we can, 100% maximal contraction, starting in 3, 2, 1, let's go. Really squeeze them legs together, really push as hard as we can. So you should see the leg kind of trembling a little bit of a shake as we really push them together. So don't let the intensity drop. Make sure we are pushing as hard as we can for that full 30 seconds. You should feel that kind of that shake come on a little bit more as we really hold that. 10 more seconds, keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect, after 30 seconds, take that pillow out, stretch the legs out, bring yourself back to your feet. Again, just give your legs a nice little shake out, get them activated again. Okay, so again, just going to take 20 seconds, just give the muscles time to recover, a little bit of a breather, get yourself a drink if needs be. Again, 20 seconds, and we'll move on to our second set. Okay, so moving on to our second set now, the exact same thing. We're going to hold that for 30 seconds, really pushing as hard as we can. So no different to the last time we did it, apart from it might be a little bit more difficult as the legs begin to tire. Okay, so again, hands on the side of the chair, really gripping on, and then let's really squeeze them legs together. So 30 seconds again, starting in 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. Keep squeezing. If you can't feel your legs trembling, you're probably not squeezing hard enough. Can you push yourself a little bit further? The muscles really working. Good stuff. 5 more seconds, really push. Hard as we can. 3, 2, 1. Brilliant, well done. Again, take that pillow out, give the legs a nice little stretch. Again, you pop that pillow down, give the legs a nice little shake, shimmy the hips a little bit if needs be. Again, just give yourself 20 seconds, let the legs recover, get yourself a bit of a drink if needs be, and again, we'll repeat that for final 30 seconds after we've had a bit of a breather. Okay, so moving on to our final set now. Again, this should be the toughest one. Obviously, as the groin starts to fatigue and starts to tire, that 100% maximal contraction just gets a little bit more difficult to do. So again, really put it into this last one. Again, same position, hands on the sides. Make sure it's still 100% maximal contraction. Might not be squeezing as hard, but it's 100% of what you can do at this time. So 30 seconds again, starting in 3, 2, 1, let's go. Really squeeze. Last one for a proper rest. Move on to a different exercise after this. Really put it in. Again, nice deep breaths while squeezing. 10 seconds left. Can you shift up a gear? Squeeze a little bit harder. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Brilliant. Let it go again. Pop that pillow down. Give your legs a nice little shake. Perfect. Good stuff. Good work. Again, take some time. Have a little bit of a breather. Let the legs recover, and we'll move on to our next exercise. Okay, so our next exercise we've got is a bird dog, which is going to be a really good exercise to build strength in the core, the trunk, and the lower limbs and the glutes as well. Also, it brings in a little bit of engagement of the shoulders and the arms, so really good overall whole body exercise. So we're going to start out on all fours. So we're going to bring our arms and hands back so the shoulders are over the hands, and knees are just under the hips, so everything's in line. And all we're going to do is taking it in turns with opposite arm, opposite leg, extend them out in front of us and bring them back onto the ground. Alternating one side to another. And we'll repeat this movement for a minute, have a short little rest, and then repeat once more. Okay, so starting in 3, 2, and 1. Making sure we're doing these really, really slow, under control, reach as far as we can. Try and move them at the same time, so rather than arm first, then leg. It's a synchronized movement, both at the same time. We'll do this really, really slowly. Make sure we're taking nice deep breaths as we're working through. Maintain that slow pace throughout. The slower we do them, the little more difficult they should be. While they're working to control. And as we work towards a minute, try and fit in one more, and that'll bring us to the minute. Slowly bring yourself back up onto your feet. Again, just give the whole body a little bit of a shimmy. Have a drink, have a breather, take 20 seconds, and we'll go again for our second set. Okay, so going again with our second set. Again, repeating the exact same movement for 1 minute again. So again, slowly bring ourselves down onto all fours, ensuring that shoulders are over the hands and hips are in line with the knees. And again, 1 minute, really, really slow, under control, alternating sides, starting in 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Reaching as far as we can, in front and behind us. As slow on the way out as we are on the way back in. Good stuff, keep going, make sure we don't lose that pace, keeping that really, really slow, steady pace throughout. Ooh. And fit one more in to bring us to the minute. And slowly return back up onto our feet. Again, give them legs a nice little shake, have a little breather, just 20 seconds, and we'll move on to the next exercise. Okay, so our next exercise is a stretch for the quads. So we'll perform this one side lying. So we're going to lower ourselves down onto our side and straighten the legs out as far as we can. And then one leg at a time, we're going to grab that heel, lowering ourselves down and just pull that leg up to our, pulling the glute and the heel together. Nice deep breaths and holding that stretch for 20 seconds. Nice deep breaths. Good. And after 20 seconds, we're going to spin around onto our other side and repeat. So again, let ourselves drop down. 20 seconds, starting in 3, 2, and 1. Let the head drop, nice deep breaths. Pulling that heel right into the glute. And after 20 seconds, again, let that leg drop back down and bring yourself back up onto our feet. Again, give the legs a little bit of a shake the quads out. We're just gonna have a short 20-second breather and we'll go again. Repeating for 15 seconds and then repeat once more for 10. Really progressing that stretch each time. Okay, so lowering down onto the same side that we started with. Again, taking your time to get down onto the floor. Extend them legs out so they're nice and comfortable. And then we're going to pull that heel into that glute, holding for 15 seconds, starting now. See if you can pull that knee back just a little bit to progress that stretch. And again, nice deep breaths. And again, after 15 seconds, swap round onto the other side. Again, let that arm stretch out in front of you and pull that glute in like that. Again, 15 seconds, starting now, nice and slow. Try and pull that heel back slightly. Maintain that nice deep breathing. And after 15 seconds, again, bring yourself back up and onto your feet. Your legs a nice little shake. And we're just going to repeat once more for 10 seconds, really progressing that stretch as far as we can, pulling that knee right the way back. Okay, so just take a breather, just 20 seconds, have a little bit of a rest. Okay, and whenever ready, again, lowering back down onto that same side that we started with. Stretch the arm out overhead and pull that knee backwards as we pull the heel into the glute. So we'll hold it for 10 seconds, starting now. Again, don't forget nice deep breaths. Perfect. After 10 seconds, slowly lower that leg back down as we swivel around onto the other side. Again, stretch the arm out overhead, take hold of that foot, pull it towards the glute, and then just pull that knee back, hold that position. Again, 10 seconds starting from now. Good. After 10 seconds, slowly lower that leg back down to the starting position and bring ourselves back onto our feet. Perfect. So that brings us to the end of that exercise, but also to the end of that class as well. Thank you very much for completing it. Hope you enjoyed it. Please have a little bit of a breather, a little bit of a break before we move on to the cool down. Thank you. Okay, so the same way we prepare the body to warm up for exercise, we have to prepare the body to cool down in the same way. So we just to start off with that, we pop our hands on our hips, and nice big circles, working around as far as we can. So looking to lower that heart rate back down to a resting level and keep the fluids transporting around the body to the tissues that we've worked. Nice deep breathing throughout. Nice deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Good, and then change direction, the exact same thing. Try and use your hands just to guide your hips a little bit further. Really progress that stretch if you want to. Good stuff. Keep working. Twice more round, and I'll move on to our next stretch. Okay, so starting off, hands on front of the legs. I'm just going to reach down to touch our toes, nice and slowly, and coming back up. Ensure we're going down as slowly as we're coming back up. Again, maintain deep breathing as we're working down to the toes and back up to our start position. Keep the knees nice and straight, don't let the knees bend as we work down. Okay, and then bring the hands up and behind the head. Again, nice deep breathing while working through all of these movements. So really open that chest up, nice deep breaths, and we're just going to work. Bring the hips out and the shoulders over to the other side. And the other way. And rotate to look each way. Again, just hold it at the end of the stretch and work around the opposite side. And forwards. Again, keeping them knees nice and straight. Keep the back in line and back up. Nice deep breaths as we're working down. Nice deep breath in as we come back up. And the same thing, leaning backwards. Okay, then just moving on to a very steady, just walking on the spot. Again, looking to keep them structures working. Looking to engage that skeletal muscle pump. So every time your muscle contracts, it pumps that blood flow back around the body. Similar to where the heart does, but you know, rather up near the heart, right down near the structures that we've worked. So again, just nice and slow. Keep your breathing nice and deep. Very gentle. I'm just going to move it around the mat, just side to side. Again, just engages different muscle groups ever so slightly. Okay, then just to finish off our cool down, some really nice deep breathing. Again, the nice deep breath really helps to lower that heart rate back to its resting level. So hands on hips or behind your back, wherever feels comfortable. Really get that chest out. Nice deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And just keep repeating that. And that'll bring us to the end of our cool down. Thank you very much.